The year was 1972 in a small town called Amanzimtoti in Natal, in the height of the Nationalist Party apartheid regime in South Africa. And a group of 12 elderly Japanese businessmen in their mid-70s came to this very small town and spoke to a group of farmers about buying land to build a manufacturing plant. South Africa at the time was a very inaccessible part of the world, in complete isolation from most of the international community. And these group of Japanese businessmen in their mid-70s came here against the odds, against the grain, to come and look at the opportunity of building the largest manufacturing plant for automobiles in Africa. The company was Toyota. And unlike most entrepreneurs and pioneers who came to a new land, a land that they were not familiar with a 1-year, 2-year, or 5-year plan, these businessmen in their mid-70s came with a 50-year plan to establish a small manufacturing plant for automobiles on the continent. Fast forward 55 years, Toyota now is the largest manufacturer of automobiles, not just in South Africa, but on the entire African continent. And unbeknownst to most people, automobiles contribute the highest percentage to South Africa's GDP every year. More than mining, more than tourism, more than wines, more than anything else. But the important thing here to understand is how important it is to think from a legacy perspective and a foresight perspective. These gentlemen would never live to see the future of their company. Not just them, not even their kids, and not even their grandkids, but generations far beyond themselves, creating a legacy. 1984, in a small town outside of Pretoria Boys High School, a young kid who had just turned 17 and was about to leave high school was asked by his school principal what he would like to do post-high school. He said, "Sir, with all due respect, I'd like to do 3 things when I grow up. I'd like to change the way the world looks at banks. Banks don't treat people with respect and integrity, and I would like to create a system where people can use banking, but not banks." He then said that he was unhappy at the age of 17, mind you, with the amount of our dependence on fossil fuels and that the earth was depleting its resources at an exponential rate. And the third thing he said was he wanted to use the earth's atmosphere and what lies beyond it to travel above and beyond, almost like a Douglas Adams sort of situation. That boy was Elon Musk, and he went on to build PayPal, Tesla, and SpaceX. To solve payments across the world without banks, Tesla to build renewable energy through electricity, and SpaceX to travel beyond our planet. That is how you create legacy, by thinking above and beyond just this year, this quarter, or the next 5 years. So what I'm getting at here is this concept of us as entrepreneurs thinking that what we do could affect way beyond just what our stakeholders, our shareholders, our partners expect of us. And those are truly significant people and not just successful people. Fast forward a few years later, me personally, in 2003, I was sitting at the backbench of the business school at Stanford, and one of the most pioneering Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, Randy Komisar, said something that absolutely shook the way I look at legacy thinking. And he said, of all the risks that we see in our lives, the most dangerous risk that we face is a risk of not doing what we truly want, on the bet that we can buy ourselves the freedom to do it later. And that fundamentally changed the course of why I eventually left 10 years of being an investment banker on Wall Street to go and build the future of impact-based entrepreneurship. And I'd encourage everyone here listening to this, if you're an entrepreneur, or you work in corporate, or you're a consultant, or whatever you do, to think of the impact of your work above and beyond just the immediate benefits. Because there are lots and lots of successful people on this planet. There are very few significant people. It reminds me of a saying that comes from a very old Zulu proverb. It says, Izinto zenzile zona zipilele, umausuambe izinto zenzaya kwabamne zihale futu zibihifi lako. Which means the things that you do for yourself are gone when you are gone. The things you do for others remain your legacy after you are gone. So all the entrepreneurs that are building incredibly innovative, disruptive products, technologies and services, think of what the impact of that would be in the long term. And if you chase your vision and not just money, the money will always come.